Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below the video and click the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eyes. Today, we will be talking about the biblical town of Chezib of Judah. Chezib, or Chezib of Judah, is a biblical place name associated with the birth of Judah's son, Shelah, in Genesis chapter 38, verse 5. Agreeing to the Chezib of the book of Joshua, chapter 15, verse 44. A town located in the low-lying hills of the plain of Judah, known as the Shephelah. In 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 22, the town is rendered as Chozib. The place is now a ruin. Historical geographers are divided as to the location of Chezib in Judea. While some identify the site as Khirbet or Khirbet Ashek Gazi, others say that it is to be recognized in the nearby site of Khirbet El Kesbi. In both cases, the old namesake is preserved in the name of a nearby spring, Ain Kesbe, a place in the Elah Valley near Moshav Avizer, directly south of Bay Natif. IAA archaeologists Zisu and Gass say Khirbet El Kisbi, near the ancient road, and the water source by the same name, strongly support identifying this site with ancient Chezib or Chozib, on account of the preservation of the ancient name at the water source, and that at its site was found pottery from Iron Age II and the Persian period, including 2 royal jar handles. According to Zisu, the ancient site stretches over an area of approximately 2 acres. Formerly, the site had tentatively been identified with the Tel El-Beed, a site now known as Tel Lavnin, while others placed its location at one of the unidentified ruins near Khirbet Quila and Khirbet Beit Nazib. Archaeologist Boaz Zisu rejects the notion that the site Chezib of Judah could have been Tel Lavnin, saying that since Khirbet Tel Lavnin was clearly occupied during the Byzantine period, it is questionable whether this site is the name or the same name as Eusebius ruined Chazbi. Like many of the ruins of ancient cities in Israel, the site near Sheikh Ghazi has no very well-defined characteristics, but appears to be spread over a considerable area. One of the problems of identification is that Chezib is grouped with a list of 9 towns. In Joshua chapter 15, verses 42 to 44, which are generally thought to be within relatively close proximity to each other, in the low-lying hills of Shephelah, south of the Elah Valley. For this reason, some have proposed that Chezib of Judah be sought for somewhere between Keilah and Mersha. The name Chezib, etymologically, is derived from the words disappointment, delusion, failing, or lying. in the Aramaic, Targum of Pseudo Yonathan ben Uziel. In Genesis chapter 38, verse 5, as well as in Genesis, Rabbah Chezib is rendered as Pasgath, said to be the Aramaic equivalent of Chezib. Others say that its name is allegedly derived from Shelah's son, Chezib, who is mentioned in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 22. The Lachish letters makes mention of a certain Beit Aksi in the Shephelah, the lower stratum of the Judean range, believed to be the Chezib of Judah. Eusebius, in his Onomasticon, notes of the place that there the sons of Judah were born, now a desolate place, shown in the territory of Eleutheropolis near Adullam. In classic Hebrew literature, the town is mentioned as being confederate with Pekah, the son of Remaliah, the king of the northern tribes of Israel, for which it occurs the divine wrath of the prophet Micah, who uses a play on words to denounce the towns of Marisha, Achzib, and Adullam. Israelite potters are said to have occupied the site during the pre-exilic late First Temple period. Shigazi and Ain el-Kesba are both shown in the 1880 map published by Conder and Kitchener's Survey of Western Palestine. Today the sites have mostly been planted over with pine trees. The site of Khirbet Ashik Ghazi is strewn with the remains of raised buildings and thick walls that are partially standing, and which were constructed of field stones. Within the environs of the site is a burial chamber built in the face of a cliff, containing 6 niches, and which, according to C.R. Conder, signifies a Jewish burial place, dating back to a period before the nation became subject to the Western powers of Greece and Rome. The site has revealed archaeological relics dating back to the Iron Age, until as late as the Byzantine period. This is the biblical town of Chezib of Judah. Adonai Nisi, the Lord is our banner. God's blessings be upon us all.